Yo everyone, I see that the audio is working right now at this screen, but I hope that everything comes through to you guys because I had to um, send the stream again to YouTube over here. Oh, yo everyone. There we go. We are back in the stream. I'm so happy that it still worked. I just unplugged all the power and just rebooted again. It takes just a couple of minutes to set everything up, and then Wirecast. I started Wirecast and it froze for some reason. It was not responding, and then I had to start it again, and it's so slow. But hey, I'm here right now. I have no clue why the audio was not working. Anyway, I'm here right now. it took me another 10 minutes again, and I'm really afraid that this is becoming a trademark, that stuff is failing here in the studio stream. I really should prepare it better, better and better next time, because I just assumed that the audio was working, and then I started, and then the audio wasn't working. Well, then I had to press the button on the mixer, which is completely outside of all the software and everything, and then I switched it on and there was no sound, and I'm like, what the F, man? I have no idea what was going on. Anyway, day 29, let's start all over. Welcome to my live stream, day 29, the 29th day of this year that I'm streaming every day. I won't miss a day. I promise, pinky promise. I will not promise that I will never have technical difficulties anymore. Anyway, I came a little prepared though today because, like I said, I'm not sure if everything came through, but like I said before, last time I was streaming I couldn't, I had an issue as well because I couldn't share my screen, and like right now I can actually share the screen, so that's good. So therefore I was thinking to do a reverse bass today. I know everybody loves reverse bass, right? So today, I will explain this later. Today I'm going to do a reverse bass in Cubase. You guys can watch me do that. Send tons of feedback. I will change it over and I will show everything that I do to make a really cool reverse bass. Let's go. First I want this chat to be open right over here. Hi guys. Hi guys. Thank you so much for staying here with me, staying and waiting for me. No, you didn't miss anything, Asien. Asijn. In Dutch you would say akijn. I'm not sure. Don't know, yeah. I'm right here, right now. I'm doing the stream. You didn't miss anything. We're starting right now. I still have to load in Cubase though. Cubase is not loaded. Oh, there we go. Cubase is now loading, and I will open. Oh yeah, I wanted to explain this. I just bumped my hand to like a pointy thing at a closet, and then I teared open my hand a little bit. Well, it was open already one time, but then I reopened it again. So I made like a X for you guys. This X day, 20 day X. Okay, let's do this. Reverse bass today. I'm just starting completely blank. Let me just grab this view and see if this window fits. Right over here is the end corner. Just let me throw this away. There we go. I need to prepare this every time before my stream as well, and I didn't have time to do that right now. But hey, here we go. I want this screen. I want to be able to see what's going on the picture as well. So let me just grab this window. Yeah, now we have vision. Now I have vision on everything. The chat over here, the white screen, you know. Chat. This is me. I can wave to myself. This is you. Cubase. Let's go. Reverse bass. Reverse bass. How I start off the reverse bass. I love working with massive. I love working with the kick tool, distortion, and the volume shaper. That's all the things that I do to create a reverse bass. If I do like a reverse bass, the real technical one, I always do that in a separate project from where I make a track. But eventually it turns out that I do the reverse bass, then kind of build a track, then delete all those reverse bass stuff that I did, and just use the audio or just the only things that I actually need to change it over some way, anyway, and then it will suddenly be a track. That's how it worked for me with Praise Reverse Bass 1. Um, Today's this reverse bass, it might turn out to be Praise Reverse Bass number 2. You never know. Okay. FL Studio for us FL users would be lovely. I don't use FL. Do you guys actually want me to use it one time? I could at one point maybe download a trial. I think you can do a 30-day trial, right? And then I can open it during the live stream maybe and do something in there. It's been ages that I've worked in there. I did work in there. I made tracks like Spacer, Warple, Time. What was the last track I did in there? I don't know which last track was, but those tracks were made in FL. So yeah. Shortly after that, I of course switched to Cubase. I finished my coffee, so let's do this. Use FL one time. Oh, it's a hashtag. Okay, maybe one time. If the vote, you guys need to vote, of course, for that. Actually, I didn't look into this, but I think there is a poll function in YouTube Live. I can actually look into this really shortly. This is me live. I will not mess around too much in here though. It's working now. Maybe I will break it for some reason and it will stop or something. Coffee. Reverse bass. Reverse bass. Like I said, kick 2, volume shaper, distortion, massive is really good to use for reverse bass. First, let me make some groups. For some reason, I always need groups. Groups are the best. Groups are awesome. I'm not sure what I'm going to name those still, but let me just create a few instances of the kick 2. Let this go through group 2 because I probably need more. I think this will be the bass group. I will do the kick, and the bass. I will do that right now. Kick. Well, no, let's more name it punch. Punch, bass, and this will all be processed right over here. Process, kick, process, reverse bass, bass, process, and this will go through that channel. Okay, so I got my instances of the kick 2. Well, the easiest part. Let's not call stuff easy right now because everything can be as difficult as you make it. But for me, in my opinion, the easiest part is of course that punch. You can get towards a good. You can achieve a good punch way easier than a good bass. I think that's my opinion about making a reverse bass. So let me just, grab a few notes. I will think of right now which key I'm going to do this reverse bass. Let's do the F sharp. F sharp reverse bass. Okay, so we have this punch going on. I will not pay too much attention yet to this punch. Although I will just make it a little bit nice. Let's find another click over here. I don't know yet. Sounds good. Alright. Fine. Okay, we have our punch. and now I need like the beginning that will eventually become the bass. So for that I just this regular preset is fine, you know. Well, my default preset is actually the default preset. Let me grab this loaded MIDI is over there. It is the same preset as the default preset, although I made it like the sub control is on at its default preset. I don't need like the click, I turned it off already because I wanna most of the time when I use this kick 2 I want to be able to pitch it up and down, and I use it also a lot to make like uplifters. Therefore this pitch is like completely down to 12, minus 12, so that I can actually go up 24 notes. But that's really not important right now for this reverse bass. So like I said, this will be just quite similar to what I did. Let me just grab the right note. It's kind of hard because below D sharp 0 it doesn't show which note it is. So to make it easy, I will just go up and put it on C1, C1, so I can easily see which pitch is on. It's maybe more clear for you guys. You can find it below the D sharp 0. I will do the same with the punch though. So I'll just transpose this up, C1, C1, and then in the MIDI file I need to turn it down again because now it will be too high and I want it over there. So that's good. And now the bass. You can hear that what I already did, I just removed that punch pitch over here, so it's now just some humming low frequency, and I want it down to F1 sharp. So it's really hard to hear, to listen for you guys right now. Let me just check over here. This is like, I can see if it's clipping. It's not clipping, so that's good. Anyway, this is just the bass running. I'm not sure if you can hear it pretty well, but if I just turn the knobs here on the harmonics, then you can already hear that it's a solid bass, you know. Over here you can see the milliseconds. Good to know if you work on 150 BPM, one beat is 400 milliseconds. So it's good to know in this plugin as well, so you can just grab it that it will stop at 400 milliseconds. So then it will be stopped right before. Well, I do 399, so it will be right stopped before the next beat comes in, you know. So now it's one solid long humming noise kind of bass, you know. So that's fine, that's what I need, because what I'm going to do right now, I will do that probably in here, but no, I'm going to do that separately here in the kick 2, which I will call kick 2 bass. What I will add, and which I can, I will put it right like over here so that I have room beforehand to actually distort it and do stuff like that. What I want to do now is create that envelope in the reverse bass, because it needs to be like offbeat, you know. So I'm going to do it right now, and just you can see that's like slightly going up and towards this point. So maybe this will be like actually the point where it pops up, you know, halfway. This is like one beat, you know. Okay, so this will be triggered by a separate MIDI called V-Shaper. I always do a separate MIDI because, well, in this case I have to, but with Cubase then you can send it through multiple volume shapers. You can send it through, 4 over here in the main, so you can send it actually to 5 volume shapers, and sometimes I need like more of those, you know. Anyway, the volume shaper just runs with together with the kick, you know. It's just at every beat. So what happens now if I play this, you can actually see this going on over here. There we go. We already created a reverse bass over here. So this is actually already something that could be really effective on the dance floor. It has very good low end frequency, and it's really deep. So this kind of could already work, you know. And if I just go into this kick 2 again and just slightly distort it over here with the built-in distortion, you can already achieve a lot of cool stuff, you know. And with its inbuilt equalizer, same thing. You can just add some top end, you know, for example, some mid frequency. Anyway, I did remove that whole punch over here that you can see, but what I want to do, I still want to add this punch, although you will not hear it, like I do with making kicks as well. If I add this envelope in the pitch, then you can actually change the waveform really cool with the bend over here. You can actually hear when I play it that it already changes. You can hear that pretty clearly. What I first want to achieve actually here is to have something like this running, you know. I added some frequency over here, but I actually only need like a little, just a sub low and a little mid, you know, because this layer is really important for me, because this one has a really clear low end frequency. What I will add over here right now is, first I will make this go to group 7. This will be the reverse bass out group. This will be like the output of the reverse bass. So as you can see, it's all running, going through all these channels, and then reverse bass out, that's the output. I want to have this because this is my analyzing channel. So what I can do over here is just add this little scope over here. It's called Schwa scope, right over here. It's really cool. I have no idea what it costs, but I bought it. It's really cheap. It's really useful. Now you can actually see the top end, the low frequency. Of course, it's now really clipping. I will put it down a little bit. Oh. You can see, you know, it's really nice and clear. I love that. The punch can stop a little earlier. Like I said, milliseconds, 400 milliseconds is 1 beat, so 200 is a half beat. That's actually where the bass is full on, so the punch can be removed for some, you know, especially the low part. So now if you go back in here, it's more nice, you know, like it was before. You can see that it's really boosting over there. Put it to 200, around 200, then it's halfway, so the punch will not interfere with that bass, and that's what we need. Okay, the kick though is not routed to the bass, the punch I mean. So now everything is nice, still going towards the same channel over here. So there we go, we have our punch, we have our nice low frequency. What I can do actually now is just duplicate this bass over here. It will be now stacked up, but this is where it gets interesting. This is actually where I'm going to build the character of that reverse bass. So what I need to make sure right now first is that this volume shaper, I will call this red for you guys, the volume shaper over here, it needs to go through this bass, but also to the bass top 1. I might add another one. Anyway, I'm going to send the MIDI towards the volume shaper within the bass top, which means that also this new duplicated bass is also handled in its volume shaper. And now it's together. So I'm only going to focus right now. I will just let this punch go. Wait, I'm going to make it a little bit nicer. again, not too much attention to that bass, because eventually the punch needs to meld in with that bass, and that's actually the part where I'm going to work on right now. That's the top end of that bass, of that the last part of that reverse bass, you know. So I'm going to work on that now, and then eventually I need to meld them together, because the reverse bass top end will also start from the very beginning. You will see while I'll work on this some more. So like here, the top end, like I said, I duplicated the bass. I muted it right now because I don't want it to be interfering too much right now, although it's really important to meld the bass low end and the top end together as well. But to not having this all stacked up, I'm just going to work on it a little to get an idea of where it's going. So let me just add this the Q2, distortion, trash. No, just let me work on this. I'm just, you know, adding some frequencies, just boosting it at the mid section. Also just making a low cut over here. But just fine tuning this low cut over here. Is it a high cut or low cut? I'm not sure. Low cut, yeah. But just, you know, really slightly changing that position, the frequency of this low pass, the low cut, I'm sorry, the low cut, so if I just slightly move that position, it will affect so much on the sound, the character of that bass sound. So if you have a close look what I'm doing over here, I'm pressing 3, yes, okay. If you have a close look on what I'm doing here, I'm just slightly changing it to the left or the right, and it will change dramatically. So this is quite cool. Let me just work on this position and play a little bit more with that low frequency, you know. I don't mind that tightness in the low end, because I already have a channel, which I now muted, which has a really good low frequency, so which is really tight, and I can actually use that in the kick when I finish this, you know, and you know, you will see that later. But you know, it's now first about that character. So the low frequency may be wobbly and not good, you know, although it could be good, and then I might not need it anyway, the low frequency that I made in the beginning. But still, it's all about that character, the top end, you know. That's what I'm working on right now. So let's go. So with this together with the kick too, like I said, when changing this curve over here, pay attention you guys, playing with this curve over here, the pitch curve, it will also change so much right now, because I added that low frequency over here, the low cut over here. I added already quite much distortion. So this waveform, if I change this will dramatically change the character of the reverse bass, the bass part, amazingly. So let's have a look when I just slightly move this curve while playing. Alright, so I expected more change, but that's probably when I stack this up more, then it will change more, or this waveform is just not changing enough. And that might be that I need to use this frequency over here some more. This is actually like a subcontrol, it's called, but this is like a frequency. Yeah, also some kind of EQ. You can see it like that. If I push this up, there's more high frequency added. So you can see that, you know. That's what happens when I. So that's a bit too much, but I'm going to play a little bit more in the low section of these bars over here. So now let's try this curve again. You can hear that it's more changing now, right now, right? I like the crunchiness of this one, and now I can also play with the volume, because the less volume I put through, it will also change that distortion, of course, the whole sound. Playing with the distortion built in the kick too. Let's EQ it some more over here. This is cool. Also the low frequency over here. Let's handle this one. Now we just added only a few things. Only an equalizer, which is, you know, you can see a lot of things going on over here. Added one trash. It's just basically two kick 2 plugins, one Fab Filter Pro Q2, and the trash. And this all together is already something pretty cool. But you know, we can work it out some more. We can add more detail. What it's really cool in this Pro Q2 as well is that I can actually split the stereo placement of like one peak over here, and if I do that, it will instantly change in left and right over here. And if I just slightly tear them apart while playing, you can really hear that it's going wider, you know? Hear that? And you can do that with any of those. Even, this is really tricky, I never do this, but you can even do this with the low cut. Which is pretty cool. But you know, this is also why I just kept this low bass frequency, which is really tight. This one, if you look back in this scope over here, this is nice and tight. But if I play this one, now you see there's a big lump over here because I automated that. Well, I enveloped that volume so it goes up, but also it goes up in that bass note, you know. So what I can quickly do, what I'm trying to achieve with this, if I just go in this crunchy kind of, I want to unfreeze this, okay, it's unfrozen. Oh yeah, if I just get this bass top over here, and if I just remove that low frequency, let's say around, hey, there's like a nice little lump over here. That's because of the trash too. it comes through. It sends something. I don't know. I can just gate this out later, but it's not too important right now. Anyway, I'm just going to make a curve over here, like 24 dB, 180 hertz. So not only everything after 180 will be sent through, which means no low frequency. And if I just go into this bass over here and then just, you know, add a curve 24 180 hertz, you know, it's exactly the opposite as this one. You can see them on top of each other. It's really, really nice. Wow, really on top of each other, and together they will create, you know, this tightness over here again. What you can see over here is of course that top end that pushes through, but if I open only the low frequency over here, let's say from on 200 hertz, this is also something that I do for analyzing. This is the output. I just added a high cut before this scope over here, and this way I can actually see only the low frequency. See, and it's pretty tight. It's pretty good. So this is tighter, but it's good, you know, it's good. I can still work on this bass over here, you know, I can switch this around and create something better. You can see it's getting tighter. But it's also a matter of hearing, of course. You need to get that tightness in that bass eventually. And playing this around, because these are stacking up right now, big lumps of waveforms hitting each other. If I change this bass right now, it also will change the character of that kick. But more in the low end, of course. You can see it's like really going through the roof. And that's mostly top end, mostly high frequency that's going. But this is all something that I'm going to do here in the reverse bass process, and also in this bass over here, because where everything comes together, this bass one, this is like the channel where all the bass is coming through, and I can also process it over here, you know, I can add EQ, I can trash it more. Sorry, a frog in my throat. I can distort it some more over here. Anyway, this is kind of how I work creating this reverse bass, and I'm going to fine tune it some more, and also actually make this punch more towards, you know, yeah, X-rated version. Anyway, I'm not sure what you guys mean. I'm going to work some more on this character over here, both in the kick 2 and in this equalizer over here, and I'm probably going to stack it up some more with some more distortion as well. To work in this volume shaper, because in my opinion it feels like it's coming a bit too early, so I can just make it a little bit more laggy, you know. This is like from the first beat on, this is like where the beat starts, this is halfway the beat, so this is where the bass goes up again. But I'm also going to work a little bit on this part over here. For example, if I just make like another peak over here, it really adds that groove to that kick, you know. You can have a listen. This is really cool. And still that low frequency is still tight because of this one. So like I said, I want to stack this up some more, so I'm going to add another Pro Q2, my favorite over here, and another trash. I'm just going to duplicate it. This will sound really, really harsh though. Oh, that's okay. That's still okay. I'm going to mute this one. Go to work from this one on. Open this Pro Q over here. Let me also save this, guys. Reverse bass. Day 29. You guys are witnessing. Okay, so like just the way that I did with the first two, I'm going to kind of do the same thing with these over here. The result right now is pretty nice. So I'm not going to change it. Well, okay, let's change it completely. Let's do another low cut over here. Let me see what I can do in this trash. Let me open a few presets. Funny thing is that I'm making like a peak over here at a low frequency, but because I'm cutting off it all the way in the end, it doesn't affect the low frequency that much, but it still affects, you know, the whole feeling of this crunch, you know. It's just about the way it's all pushed through all these trashes and these equalizers. It doesn't matter how it comes out. You can eventually cut the low frequency off and process it some more altogether, you know, which I'm going to do just about when I'm making some final changes over here. I just want to play a little bit more with this kick 2 and see what I can actually change and make it better, you know. I did some slightly changes over here. I also did some changes over here, and I'm going to do that some more. The cool thing about kick 2 is also that you can actually go back and forward in history, you know, undo, redo. But there's also another function, very cool. You can copy the settings over here. There's probably a function like that in every DAW. This is a really cool function that you can play with it, but then still go back, you know. Same as the AB over here. You can do the same thing over here and just, you know, kind of compare it to each other. So let's have a look again. This one I use always the copy settings function. Well, it's like behind me. It's like here. Copy kick bass setting. All right. I think you can also copy it to like a specific. Anyway, not important right now. Okay, so let me just try and make something even better. This top end is a little more EQ without the distortion on after that. I just want to push some frequencies over here. Now I'll turn it down afterwards. And you can see all these channels are not like that much going through the roof. Even those two together are not like clipping so much. It's always good to have that actual result within the limits of your fader, you know. So I have all these bases. These two, they come together to one group, and I can work on it some more over here. I have to remind myself that this is actually the bass output. So this means this has effect on either the low and the top end frequencies. So let me just add a trash. I will turn off the limiter over here to make sure everything goes nicely. I push this input down a little bit, and then I will start going through these presets again and see what, you know, sounds nice with this reverse bass. The lower frequency is like completely wasted. You see, it's like I just keep on pushing that button over here. Freeze. No, freeze. Yes, there we have it. This is like the low frequency of the kick bass over here, and see it's going down. It's not like nicely in the center, and if you, the more you get it in the center, the better it is for your mix eventually, because having everything nice in the center, you know, don't have a DC offset, how they call this. If you have this nice, as much in the center as you have more volume left that you can working in the mix eventually. Else, if it will distort easier, better, well, not better, it distorts more in the mix down. So have it as tight as possible is like key, you know. So it's pretty tight with this on, you know, it's like damaged. So what I actually want to try right here is just copy this setting over here. Let me turn off this analyzing equalizer. Let's go to this bass top. Let's try if I just add this trash over here and copy just the setting that I just did on top of this, only the top end, you know? I do like it. Let me just play around with another equalizer in between. Let's stack it up, you guys. So I need to change the volume of this one as well, because you see this little lump over here, this little lump, that's the overlap between the punch and the low frequency of that kick bass, of the reverse bass. So I just want this a little bit more overlapping, so I just will have to make this curve smaller, you know. So let me just find the right position on freeze. You can probably see it changing when I do that. Let me just gather all those windows. Here we go. You can see? Here, it's more tight now. Let's separate it a little bit more from that bass, so you have that like actual reverse bass feeling in that in the low frequency as well. So I will push this up a little bit more. There we go. This is only the low end, you know. The high end I will still fix over here, and this I do rather brutally, just by adding an inflator I want this top end to be nice, and just cut off all those peaks that come below, come above 0. Cut it off. Alright. Also, like distorting it a little bit through this inflator over here. That's cool. That's really cool. Okay, this already sounds pretty cool, right? Okay, let's now go into this punch. And like I said, this punch really needs to melt in with that reverse bass. I'm just, the low frequency is pretty good already, but I want this top end of that punch to be on top, spot on as well. So what I'm thinking right now is just actually also duplicate that punch over here. So now I have 2 punches, really loud. This one is pretty okay. I just want to remove that punch. So most of it will only be the low frequency. I'm just going to stack it up with some high end. Same that I did actually with that bass. This is the mono version. Let me just grab the stereo one. You can disable those, but I still do not do that. Anyway, just only the high end, that's the only important thing right now for me. And this part I can actually distort also a little bit. So let me just put this one right at the end. This is the frequency, this is this one, again. And let me just really gently add some distortion with the trash tool. And that together like the top end. I'm going to open that one right now. I'm just going to work. Hey man, how you doing? Zen is back. Okay, let me just work on this top end punch again a little bit. I'm mostly now trying to, with this, this is the pitch of that punch, this, to remind you, this is like only this little click over here. I'm going to stack it up with the low end. But this is actually the one that I'm now working on to create that cool punch, There's also something really cool in the trash. That's the consolve over here, which just adds a little, it's more like a guitar amplifier, This is how I kind of see this, and this will actually create some more depth in the stereo image. It's kind of a weird thing, but if you just mix it out properly, you can actually create something really, really nice. So what's also really nice here, I'm going to do that on the punch. This is like also the group where the punches all going to come together. You see, you know, both come together here, and I will just end the transient designer, which just adds a little bit more attack to that punch. You know, you can actually hear that when I turn this knob. I'll mix them down eventually together, you know? Let me just get rid of it. Alright, so there we go. We have this punch, we have this bass together. I kind of wanted to blend them a little bit more together in the reverse bass process channel, and I'm going to slightly add some compression to actually bring them together better. I do that with the Pro C. I really love the Pro C to do that, you know. Let me just open this scope again, that you can actually see what's going on. This will just melt the volumes a little bit more together, you know. Some more high end to that punch to level it more to the till. Let me just work on that punch a little bit more. This low end, this is like the equalizer again, this one over here. Let's add a little bit low frequency. Maybe even play a little bit with it mid section over here. Now I'm going to level out those punch and bass together. First, let me just get this bass a little bit loud, a little less loud. You know, this is already pretty cool over here. Let me just finalize this a little bit in the process channel by EQing it a little bit more, maybe a little bit more low frequency. Sounds good. Nice and tight. Still, let me just see one more time in this top end, because we have all things together now. If I change this up, you know, we get a reverse bass every little turn over here. every little change that I do, and only this little curve over here completely changes the whole character of that bass line. Um, then it's the trick to find. It's not that you can find the best one, but it's a way which will fit the best in the track that you are making. And having this little template over here actually gives you that opportunity to create a reverse bass perfectly for a project that you are working on. Every minor change over here just completely changes the reverse bass. So even in depth, if you go back into like equalizer settings, the distortion over here, go back into one of these, especially the beginning one. If you just change this little thing over here. Especially this one as well. I can go on and on with all these minor little changes in this kick. So much more spots where you can do this. I just edited the first equalizer and the kick too, and those all together. Oh man, you can go so far into this little reverse bass. What genre today? This is reverse bass, man. You can listen to this. You will hear only reverse bass. If you could sample all these reverse basses, you will have 100, 200 reverse basses that you can pick from. Anyway, now it's just a matter of creating something, creating a track, and just added this reverse bass specifically for that track, and this is the same way that I actually, made that reverse bass for Crazy Reverse Bass #1 and many other tracks. This is just a way, for me to actually create something really, really cool in a fun and creative way as well, because you can just keep on turning those knobs. You can go nuts with this and be really precise what you want, but it goes on. The possibilities are so much right now, so endless, Also, 180 BPM, I see it right here. 180 BPM. It doesn't matter. You can do that. You can do it all. 220 or just 128. It doesn't matter. Every BPM you can make reverse basses on any BPM, any character from this template on. So this is a cool template, So if I'm going to save this over here, Dr. Peacock would really want to have this template. I'm sure of it. Anyway, if I just open up, this is getting interesting because I actually have the same project that I used for that praise the reverse bass. So I have this project over here. You can already hear the whole room. And you can see actually, oh wait, let me just grab all those windows back. It was stretching out again. First let me get this window. So if you listen to this track, praise the reverse bass, you can hear this is like, whoa, yeah, there's a lot of distortion over here. But you can see the same principle. Here you have the kick in, bass in, so this is actually the punch. I process them all together. Here you have a punch, here you have a bass tone, bass low. So that's actually exactly the same way that I worked on just now, you know. So this is actually was a tutorial how I made the praise the reverse bass. But this is, you know, same way. You can see here all the effects, trashes. Here is a trash at the group channel, not so much on the low end, but also, let me just mute this for a second as well, because there's so much going on this trash. But here you have a trash, you have this equalizer over here. It all does the same way, goes the same way that it did just now. Just a little bit simpler as well. Praise the reverse bass. Crazy. One more time. Oh, it doesn't work. Whoa. So anyway, with all those distortion, it doesn't matter because I had this in a project. I can actually make just one waveform out of it and just use it really nicely, you know, in a track. So cool, so cool. I really love working, yeah, all that grit. Crazy, right? Yeah. But this is, you know, the fun way how I make a reverse bass, you know, and there are many ways, of course, but this is, you know, my way, creative way, really fun way. Okay, I think you all should use Cubase from now on. So after a few, after you have seen all my live streams, you can actually make music like Frontliner does, maybe. Anyway, that's how I made a reverse bass. In just an hour, I think. 10 minutes off because of the technical issues in the beginning. For those who just tuning in, because no, I have a habit of changing the times. Share remix. I should finish that. Okay, let's not get off topic. Anyway, who are just tuning in because I normally do at 8 o'clock. I just made a reverse bass today. You guys could watch me do that, how I set everything up. Another tutorial given. That's basically what I do here. I think I just teach you guys. Yeah. Anyway, this is just a way that I do it in here, but you can probably do the same thing in either Logic, FL Studio, Ableton. There are other ways, they work differently, but you can achieve the same way. It's just the way how I do it in here, and you can also sidechain in Ableton, group things together, stack up all those plugins. Just find the way how you can do that in your DAW that you are using, and translate what I did over here. You know, just I didn't use much of those Cubase plugins. I didn't use any, by the way, and you can get all those plugins that use the Trash, the FabFilter Pro Q2, and the C, and the Inflator even by Sonic something, Sonox. I'm sorry, Sonox. Transient Designer. There's a good one, Inventions as well. All those plugins you can still, you can get them all and work them, let them work on either FL, Logic, all those DAWs. You know, you can work with those plugins as well. X. If you want to know the story, just watch back. Anyway, everybody, yeah, 8 Black Cents, I saw your email. Don't worry about it. I will answer you soon. Insider. Okay, anyway, yeah, that's it already. I think we just made a really cool reverse bass. You have witnessed me make that reverse bass. I think that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll be back with another stream, probably the same time, around the same time. Everybody, thank you so much for watching again. Have a great evening. I'll do some more interaction the following streams with you guys again, because that's the fun thing about having a live stream. Now you're just talking to me. Of course, I try to answer a few of your questions. I see you guys over there.
Je moet eerst je iPhone ontgrendelen.
F off. I was ending this stream. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with more interaction and more music, more Frontliner, more fun. Everybody have a great night. See you all tomorrow. Bye bye.